Hey, this is Paul Green from the MSP Marketing Edge, and thank you so much, Gradient MSP, for having me back here in the studio. And in this video, I want to talk to you about marketing to more people. And here's the thing that they don't tell you about marketing. It's the same amount of work to market to 10 people as it is to market to 10,000 people. And the reason for that is marketing is, amongst many other things, it's a numbers game, right? So if you've got 10,000 LinkedIn connections and you're putting some content in front of those, the chances of you getting lucky and finding someone who's ready to have a conversation today, well, that goes up if there are 10,000 people consuming your content. When you're only talking to 10 people, the chances of you getting lucky and finding that person goes down dramatically. Now, you may have heard me talk about our 3-step lead generation system. I've built all of my work around this. It's in my new book, which is called MSP Marketing Start Here. You can get that on Amazon, on your Kindle and as paperback, Audible coming soon. And it's also the core of what we do at the MSP Marketing Edge. It's only 6 words: build audiences, grow relationships, convert relationships. So build audiences, you build up lots of people to talk to, more the better. Grow relationships, you grow a relationship with them using content marketing, so putting good marketing content in front of them. And then convert relationships is about getting them on the phone and finding out, is this a good time to have a discovery call, which is typically a video call, and then that leads into a sales meeting. Now, in this video, I want to focus on building audiences because that's where the numbers game really happens. And there are 2 audiences that you most want to build. You want to build up your LinkedIn connections and your email database. Let's start with LinkedIn. I think your goal should be to build up 10 new connections a day, or at least try and attempt to build up 10 new connections a day. And in fact, if you can make this a daily task, chef's kiss, that would be beautiful. The MSPs that build marketing systems where activities happen on a regular basis, they always outperform MSPs that do a big load of marketing and then stop, and then a few months later do a big load of marketing and stop. So a small system where you do this, a series of activities regularly is always better. Now, when you're adding your 10 connections a day, a really good question to ask yourself is, who already has this audience? For example, there are uber connected people. I live in a city called Milton Keynes, based in the UK. If you don't know the UK, you wouldn't have heard of it, but we're about an hour outside of London. And there's a guy here called Mark Orr, and Mark is connected to like hundreds, if not thousands of business owners here. So he's a very well-connected guy, does lots of networking. If I wanted to reach business owners in Milton Keynes, I would connect to Mark. And then I would go off and connect to his connections. Does that make sense? Because you can go into LinkedIn and you can look up, like CPAs in your city, lawyers in your city, veterinarians in your city, all of that stuff. Or you can ask yourself who already has the audience and just go and connect to their connections. In fact, I know a lot of MSPs who don't do it the difficult way. They just find lots of people who are already well connected to exactly the kind of people they would like to do business with, and they connect to those people. And of course, you can use automation tools with this, but please automate with extreme care. Meet Alfred is the automation tool that I hear most people using these days. Of course, if you go and Google alternatives to Meet Alfred, there are hundreds of them. Pick the tool that you like and go with it. The reason I say to use extreme care is because LinkedIn hates automated tools, absolutely hates them, and it goes against all its terms and conditions. And tools like Meet Alfred, they bypass it by you install them as a plugin to your Chrome. So they sit on your instance of Chrome, interrogating your LinkedIn, and they try and mimic human behavior. And that works most of the time, particularly if you follow their guidelines. But if, for example, Alfred is using Chrome here and you're on another browser on a different IP address using Chrome yourself, that's a bit of a red flag to LinkedIn. Hang on, there's two people logged into the same LinkedIn account here. So whatever the rules are, and I can't remember the one I used to use, but I've used different ones over the years. I've chosen not to now. I have a virtual assistant who I use rather than an automated tool. But however you do that, just follow their guidelines to the letter. So you've got your LinkedIn connections. I said the other audience you should build up is your email database. And the very first question to ask yourself here is, what data do you already have? You want to do a metaphorical putting your hand down the back of the data couch looking for all the data you already have. So, for example, on your Outlook, right, do you have emails from people that you had conversations with years ago about prospects, leads, right? People who've emailed in. Do you have old quotes? Do you have people who filled in web forms on your website? What data have you got? However many years you're in business, get all of that data. Go looking through Outlook, go through looking through old databases. If you've been out networking, go and find the old business cards. Get all of it. For the first time, maybe get all of it, put it all in one place, put it into your CRM. It's always the first place to start. And then once you've done that data, you've kind of done the hard thing in that you've got started, and getting started is always the hardest thing. So you've done a good thing there. The next job to do then is to systemize all contacts with leads, all of them. So anytime anyone fills out anything on the website or is in touch with you in any way, or you meet them at networking, or they just phone in, you have to have systems in place in the MSP to get that contact detail and add them into your email database and start sending them out your regular newsletter or whatever it is that you send out. Of course, there are automated, easy ways to do this. For example, we use HubSpot as our CRM. We're just migrating over to that. And if someone fills in a form on HubSpot, they're automatically, on our website, they're automatically in our CRM. That kind of makes sense. Now, some CRMs can do this, some can't. You've got to be careful. There's a balance between paying loads for lots of functionality. Like HubSpot is so expensive. I send them a kidney every month. That's how expensive it is, but it is worth it for the tool set. So systemize this as much as you can. Of course, automate what you can, but if not, you have to put in place human systems. Like someone phones in, we get their details, and you might even have like a physical form or something that someone fills in where it just prompts them to ask for their name, the company name, the email address, the website address, because sometimes people need to be prompted to do that, particularly if it doesn't happen very often. And then the final thing that you can do to build up your email database, and this is smart, you can take some of the work you were doing earlier and you can add contacts from LinkedIn. So every new connection on LinkedIn, you go and find their email address, and you can even use data enrichment tools to add to that. So start by looking in their contact info on their LinkedIn connection. You'd be surprised how many normal business owners and managers put their email address in their LinkedIn contact details. If not, you can go and Google their email address in speech marks. Now, I found over the years that they're typically one of these formats. So either Bruce.Wayne or Bruce Wayne or B.Wayne or B Wayne or Bruce.W. You get the idea. Screenshot the things that you see on screen right now. And then the final thing you do is you add them to your CRM, and critically, and this is really critical, you send them a welcome email, which sets the context for what you're doing. Because technically we're going against all the world's data privacy laws by just adding someone into your CRM. The way I see it is, and this is not legal advice, but it's better to seek forgiveness than it is to ask permission sometimes. Because you're adding like 2 or 3 people a day to your CRM at most. You're not a spammer. You're not trying to sell Viagra via a million emails a day. So you add them to your CRM and you send them an email which sets the context of what you've done, such as this. Hi Name, thanks for connecting with me on LinkedIn. I've been cheeky and added you to my email list. Don't worry, I won't bombard you with unwanted emails, just once a week showing you how technology can help you grow your business. And then you get them engaged. Like, you're a lawyer, right? So are you confident with technology, or does it fill you with dread? Just hit reply and let me know. And by the way, and this is the important line, if you don't want my emails, that's cool too. Just hit the unsubscribe button. In fact, what you see there is what we give to our MSP Marketing Edge members that they use for exactly this system. Remember, the more people you can market to, the luckier you'll get and the faster you will get lucky. So if you've got tiny audiences right now, there are the 2 key audiences. There are lots you could build up. I would recommend you focus all of your time building up your LinkedIn and your email database.